I have successfully reproduced bug at 17:45, which gives me a timestamp to look at my journal for and see what it says. Yay! Stream should be back.
All right.
As we go into the Rising Stones for the last chapter of Pre-Endwalker. Do any of you have anything new to say? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Nope.
I'll need to search for outfits when we get to Endwalker.
The company we keep. You're doing well. I take it you managed to squeeze in some rest. If you come hoping for tidings from Kryl, I'm afraid we're still waiting, but we do have some odd scraps of news to share. Scraps, she says. Lunar primals have been popping up all over the place, but the Alliance has the situation well in hand, thanks in no small part to Hoary Boulder and the others. Meanwhile, talks with the Beast Tribes are going even better than expected. Encouraged by Ulda's progress with the Amalja, Gridania has opened up negotiations with the XIV, believe it or not. All of which is obviously very encouraging. But with the Telephori still out there, it's not as if we can afford to lower our guard.
Why does it suddenly smell dusty? Oh no. I think I know it.
Is a dust storm coming?
It's probably a dust storm that's about to come. Oh no.
Begging your pardon, I come bearing an invitation from the Alliance. And a note, if you moved out east to Baltimore, you wouldn't have dust storms anymore. All you'd have to worry about are hurricanes. And as long as you don't...
the devil you know?
As long as you don't live in the inner harbor, it's fine. It just floods the street. A council meeting is due to be held in Alamigo. Your attendance is humbly requested. Ah, we were just talking about the Alliance. May I ask what's on the agenda? I believe the intention is to share news of recent developments and discuss what measures might be taken to combat the Talaforhoi. In concert with our new allies, the Beast Tribes have also been invited. It's hoped they will join us in the fight against our common foe. So the Alliance would bring all Beast Tribes into the fold at a single stroke. An ambitious plan, given the delicacy of the negotiations, but mayhap an expedient one, considering the threat we face. Indeed, my lady, and for their part I'm told the Beast Tribes have agreed to attend. If the Scions too are present, all of Eorzea will be represented. Will the dragons be there? Because there's dragons in Eorzea. Are dragons coming? To arrange such a meeting must have been quite an undertaking, not only diplomatically, but practically. Pray inform the Alliance we would be honored to participate. We shall make for Alamigo without delay. Then I'll bear your answer thither with all haste. We look forward to receiving you at the Royal Palace. I think they may just not have any representatives from Dravania. They may have just forgotten Dravania exists.
Oh man, I do not want to be around for the political fallout of this for forgetting to invite the dragons.
Now we've accepted the invitation. Who exactly is going to attend? I move that you and Y'shtola lead our contingent. Given how long you've worked to end the summoning, it's only right you be present for what promises to be a historic moment. I think we've all played our part in that endeavor, don't you, Gobo? I got a shiny new outfit for it. At present, all present may rightly claim a seat, I do quite agree. But by your leave, I believe I shall remain here and lend what assistance I can to the coordination of our defensive efforts. I'm not coming either. Aymeric will be there, and I'd rather not be interrogated. Very well, then. While those with a mind to hold the fort get on holding it, I suggest the rest of us make for Alamigo, shall we? I wonder if they're going to have the goblins there. Are they going to have the goblins? Are they going to have the Dravinians? Like, is it just the four cities and their environs? Or, like, I think they just forgot that or 5 cities, because Alamigo. Because Ishgard's going to be there. I think they just forgot about Dravania. Or maybe after the war, Ishgard officially annexed Dravania?
I don't know.
This seems like a whole pile of not my problem.
It probably will become our problem. Oh, look, they would have. I'm not gonna say it.
Are you already cutscening? You're already cutscening. I'm still talking to people. Stola!
Oh, hey!
Like the city-states, every beast tribe has its factions, each with their own agenda, making peace a complex proposition. But if the Alliance can come to an understanding with their leaders, it'll be for them to resolve internal politics. Even with the swift intervention of the Immortal Flames, all too many lost their lives at Paglathen. Still, closer cooperation between our peoples will be required if we're to thwart the plans of the Telophoroi. The Amalja cannot be the only tribe to have been targeted by the Telophoroi, and none of them will have taken kindly to having their people enslaved, nor their gods turned against them. Honestly, by the look on your face, eager to bear witness to another historic moment by any chance? I suppose I am. And the fact that our cure for tempering made it possible only heightens my anticipations. Tilda, I vaguely remember you. I do wonder what'll become of us. We've been under Imperial rule for over 2 decades. What are we supposed to do now? Oh, you're just some rando telling me the things you told me from forever. Okay. We've been expecting you. While some few guests have yet to arrive, the Alliance leaders are all present. Shall I show you in? Yes. I look less out of place in my shiny outfit than I did before, so... We got them. They're not going to try and temper everyone again, are they?
Oh no, that was a different tribe.
Hey, Sliffs. Oh my gosh, you do have Dravanians. Hey.
Yep.
Esteemed guests, you honor us with your presence. As there is much to discuss, let us begin.
Information on our taken brethren you have, yes? Hear it we would!
I don't see any dragons, though.
Ah! Beyond forgiveness these featherless ones are! With rivers of blood shall they pay! Freed our people must be!
We too would see your kin liberated. But ere we attempt their rescue, we must first find a means to negate the risk of tempering. Without that, we will be unable even to approach the towers, let alone contend with their defenders.
If all else fails, I've always found cannonballs quite effective.
And what of the prisoners? Would you see them slaughtered?
Think for a moment. Ponder, consider, think. If Merlwyb truly intended to bombard the towers, she would have done so by now. Remember, we came here to find a solution together, did we not?
Y'Stola spoke of defenders. I but offered a means to clear a path, should you require it.
Given the enemy's capabilities, we will all need to play our part if we are to have any chance of success. For if any here should give less than their best, it will be to the cost of every living being on this star.
A paragon, the Empire, our very gods. How can we hope to prevail against such odds?
That our foe is formidable, none would deny. but our strengths are many and varied. In this chamber, I see masters of strategy, masters of magic, masters of the land, the air, and the sea. And together, there is nothing in creation we cannot overcome. I beg your pardon?
What is it, so?
I think I saw Mary Red like smiling to that as if she knew what that actually meant.
Of course Merlin would know.
A little pretty will have gills, perhaps. Suffice it to say, I am proud to be counted amongst Eorzea's finest. We Sahagin will play our part.
I love the Sahagan's
We kobolds
voice.
have not forgotten the crimes the Overdwellers committed against us in the past. But today we look to the future as allies united in purpose.
Yay.
Make mock of the Ixal the Paragon does! Turns kin into puppets! Pits brother against brother! Free them from his grasp, we shall!
As Patriarch Zadar will attest, the Scions have granted us a means to free your brethren from their thraldom. This boon we will gladly share, that your people might never be enslaved again.
We accept! We accept!
Praise be!
Yay.
It's taken a while, but I do believe we might be one step closer to a world without primals. Would that Minfilia were here to see it.
We still have a long way to go, and we're going to need a lot more Porksies. But we're moving in the right direction.
If I may have your attention, there is one other point I would like to raise. As we can all agree, freeing those held captive must take precedence over every other concern. But experience has taught us that none save those with the capacity to resist tempering can hope to enter the towers unscathed. And even once inside, a still greater threat may yet await them, that which we call a primal. Needless to say, if we are to succeed, engaging with such foes can only ever be considered a last resort. And so I move that we seek to prevent them from being summoned in the first place.
Yes! Both prayer and ether are needed for the ritual. Should either one be denied, the summoning would fail.
Indeed. And so we must endeavor to discover the source of the ether on which the process depends. Do so, and it may present a way to halt the summonings, or perhaps even neutralize the towers entirely.
A promising proposal. While you are conducting your investigations, however, we will need to remain vigilant, lest the Telophoroi commit further abductions and summon primals ere we have the means to prevent them. To stand a better chance of keeping our enemy at bay, we would do well to coordinate our defensive efforts, sending reinforcements to assist our neighbors when needed.
We Amalja would have been overwhelmed were it not for our newfound allies. But say the word, and we shall come.
I see we are all in accord. But what are we to call this proud fellowship of ours? I submit that the honor of naming it should go to the scion whose brave efforts have done so much to unite Eorzea. What say you, my friend?
I'm bad at names. The Angelo fans?
Grand Company of Eorzea.
But that's the name I...
That's right, Alphino, I'm stealing your thunder.
A fine choice, for there is none here who does not love Eorzea.
I said to give me a moment, and Alice was the first to suggest it.
Aye, in that we shall ever be united.
United in our gratitude for the realm that gave us life.
Then let it be recorded that on this day, the Grand Company of Eorzea was born.
That's right, that thing that you almost got everyone killed trying to do in ARR just happened. With groundwork and legwork. And the proper material conditions.
Dreamed of this moment. And now that it's here, oh, forgive me. Might we speak outside?
Of course, they're gonna have to set up like a constitution and a system of government representation and all that, and I don't want to be involved. Forgive me for observing, but Alphino seems less than jubilant. Might his thoughts be occupied by the fate of poor Ironvalda? It's a pity it took the threat of annihilation for everyone to cast their grievances aside. Better late than never, I suppose. Always need the proper material conditions for change. We may have won over the leaders, but now the leaders must win over their own people. No small task, I grant you, but we've come a long way since first we joined with Minfilia to bring an end to summoning. A long, long way. The Grand Company of Eorzea. I wonder what Riol and the other former Crystal Braves will make of it. Alfie, how do you feel? Well, now that we're out of earshot of the other delegates, I hope you'll forgive me if I speak my mind. Let me begin by saying that I have dreamed of this day since the moment I first set foot on these shores, and I was as heartened as anyone to see the peoples of Eorzea pledge their solidarity. Yet even as they uttered their declarations, all I could think about the conflict come, of the sacrifices that would have to be made, of lives lost, inevitabilities I still struggle to accept. But at least now there's hope. The formation of the Grand Company of Eorzea is the first step, the first of many. Many and more. He's coming. It's you. Elder Seedseer, how might we be of service? I seek Master Alphino's assistance in a matter involving Gridania's neighbors, the Sliffs. I know that you and yours have long kept a weather eye on the crystal trade, the better to predict the coming of the primals, so you'll be familiar with the Sliffs of the Ashcrown Consortium. Through their dealings, they've cultivated relations not only with the city-states, but many other communities besides. Communities such as the Beast Tribes. Just so, it's our hope that we may make use of the Sliff's established lines of communication to coordinate the efforts of the new fellowship. Yet there remain certain practical differences between a trade consortium and a grand company. If the Sliffs are to perform their task effectively, they'll need the consul of one versed in the operational aspects of an armed force. An armed force founded with the selfsame goal in mind, no less. The Crystal Braves, yes. Forgive me, Master Alphino. I know it was a painful chapter in your life, but the experience may yet be made to serve their realm. In my hubris, I plotted a course for the Crystal Braves, which stretched far beyond the Order's initial conception. One intended to pave the way for the founding of what I intended to call the Grand Company of Eorzea. But my plans all came to naught. Built upon a frail foundation of lofty ideals, the Order was doomed from the first to collapse under the weight of more worldly interests. And I have no wish to see this new endeavor suffer the same fate. Mayhap I ask too much of you. Not at all. You may count on my assistance, for what little it's worth. By your leave, I shall prepare a report, including a list of recommendations, drawing on the lessons I learned from the failures of the Crystal Braves. You have my gratitude, Master Alphino, and my trust. When your report is ready, pray share it directly with the Siths. With your guidance and the earnest efforts of every goodly soul gathered here this day, I have no doubt but that our fellowship shall emerge from the shadow of the Telophoroi and flourish. Until we meet again, my friends. Before committing anything to writing, there are a number of people whose thoughts I'd like to hear. Former Braves, you understand. Won't you join me in seeking them out? I can't think of an excuse not to, so yes? Well, I'll be grateful for your help, grudging or not. I'll join you. If you're planning to canvass the opinions of your former comrades, it'll be a lot quicker if we share the task of questioning them. Then mayhap Graha can lend a hand as well. I shall accompany Thancred back to the Rising Stones. Between us, I dare say we should be able to provide an accurate enough account of the day's events. We'd be glad of your company, Raha. I shall explain the details on the way. Well, Alisaie? So, what's the plan, brother mine? Before discussing the task at hand, I should probably admit that the report I propose is largely written. Not long after the fateful day in Ul'dah, I penned a detailed account of the organization's history, from events that led to its inception to the failings that brought about its demise. This I did primarily as a mean of taking some semblance of responsibility. Never did I imagine it might later be referred to by those seeking to form a similar organization. While I made every attempt to be objective, the account was mine alone, its events viewed from my singular perspective. For it to be of use, however, it must be broadened to encompass the viewpoints of all involved. Only then can it answer what seems to be the crucial question, namely, why, after the Crystal Braves disbanded, did some choose to remain while others did not? I see. You think the answer will tell us something about the nature of ties that bind our new grand company together? And that this knowledge might help us prevent it from falling apart when the bonds are inevitably tested? That's my hope, yes. But the questions I would ask are uncomfortable to some. As the former commander of the Crystal Braves, I doubt those who abandoned the cause would welcome my inquiries. Then Raha and I will have to try. Meanwhile, the two of you can talk to the ones who kept the faith. A fine suggestion. Have care, however. Certain of my former comrades are of questionable character. So keep your wits about you, and let us reconvene in Gridania later. Bye, Alisaie. Punt that asshole deep-voiced Lalafell. If you have no objections, I have a mind to begin by speaking with Riol and Elaine. If memory serves, the two will be attending an intelligence briefing at Castor Morans. Let's take them out there. Ooh, have we been to Castor Morans? Yes, Castor Morans is there.
I just got back to that.
Oh, you're just like right here. Hey, Elaine, what's going on? Oh, I didn't expect to see you here. If you enjoy intelligence briefings, you've come to the right place. I do not, actually. Riol, I'm here to interrupt you. Well, look at who it is. And what brings you two here? Wouldn't have anything to do with the big meeting, would it? As a matter of speaking, I've been assigned a task, you see, for which I require the assistance of former members of the Crystal Braves. So you want to know why we decided to stick with the Scions, eh? Ain't an easy thing to put into words, that. As Riol will attest, I spent a long time agonizing over my failure to alert you to the traitors in our midst. For my negligence, I was captured along with many others, and we were powerless to prevent the tragedies that ensued. Not a day goes by that I don't think back to those fateful events. By joining with the Scions, I hope to redeem myself, and I will continue to serve the cause for as long as I'm able. That wasn't the only reason. When we were finally reunited at the Rising Stones, you refused to blame anyone but yourself for the fall of the Crystal Braves. And in spite of everything that happened, everything you had suffered, you took us back without a moment's hesitation. We would not have blamed you if you turned us away. When you gave up your trust instead, what could we do but repay it? Nothing, that's what. As for my own tale, well, I always felt the Scions have something in common with my old crew. The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. That was our creed, and I still strive to live by it to this day. But as time gone on, I've learned that strength comes in many shapes and sizes, from hoary boulder to Mistress Tataru. We've all got us something to offer. And not one of us is doing it for personal gain, because we believe there's more important things than that. Things worth protecting, which is what being a Scion's all about. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, my friends. To hear this from you means more than you know. Forgive me, Gobo, could you? Why do you think the Crystal Braves ended in failure? Well, it's found in ideals or something to be proud of, but ideals alone don't make a crew. For every swab who signed up with good intentions, there was another who was only in it for coin or glory or both. Ours was quite a disparate band, and while I will never forgive Ilbert, the fact that we managed to function at all was thanks in a large part to his efforts. It's a pity he was doing it for all the wrong reasons, eh? Only takes one bad apple, they say, and the Braves who had a barrel full of them. Not like the Scions. We might look like a ragtag band of misfits, but deep down we all got that shared sense of purpose. And why? Because Tataru sifted out all the glory hunters before they made it through the door. I see. So while our ranks comprise of a diverse range of people, each with their own individual strengths, we're all united on purpose. Thank you, my friend. With your permission, I shall make a record of our discussion and refer to it when drafting my recommendations. Until we meet again. My wife is the best. Don't you doze off quietly. I see that in the log.
Oh, that was like a good while ago.
Oh.
That was like back when we were in the Limsa Plaza.
Well, I think we've taken up enough of our colleagues' time. I'm conscious that less life-affirming testimonies await. Let's make our way to Gridania and hear what the others have learned. Wait, are these two the only ones? Are these two the only ones that stayed who... Oh. We done fucked up back then, didn't we? We did done fuck up back then. Gosh, I was a black mage back.
With like the collapse of the Crystal Braves, or...
Yeah. Gosh, I was a black mage back then still, I think. Maybe it all would have stayed intact if I was able to whatcha. When Alice sets her mind on something, there's no stopping her. And her mind was truly set on finding former Braves. For a while, I even feared what she might do to them. But in the end, she was admirably civil. For the most part. For the most part, eh? Thanks to Tataru's ever-dependable intelligence, we managed to track down a handful of former Braves without any great difficulty. Some were forthright, others less so. But we heard enough to form a picture. I must warn you, Alphino, some of their comments were harsh.
Ooh.
I can well imagine. But their opinions are no less vital to my report. I seek the unvarnished truth. Thank you. I'll set about adding your findings to my own at once. In the meantime, pray go on ahead to Little Solace and seek out Elder Friccio. I'll join you anon. Well, Alphino, what's it say? Leave me to attend my report and join the others. I shan't keep you waiting long. I know how playful the sylphs can be. Oh, but I want to hear the bad things they say about you. Alphino. Not even sputtering over. You know, Alphino waited till we left to even look at the dang thing because he knew we'd tease him about it. Which, fair, but doesn't change that I want to hear it. Hey, Friccio. Ah, welcome, brave one and friends of brave one. How good it is to see walking ones again so soon after the meeting. Should this one perform the customary dance of greeting? Oh, no. Be at ease. It's true these ones are once delighted in making walking ones dance, but no more. Horned one Connie Senna said that walking ones would be coming to Little Solace. Imperial ones also invaded Sylphlands and abducted many of these ones, so these ones will be glad to hear messages between fighting friendly ones. It's heartening to hear, Elder. It'll require all ones to work in unison to stop the Telophoroi. These ones will try very hard, of course, but in matters of war, these ones have little experience. Any advice walking ones can provide would be most welcome. Oh, another pretty silver-haired one. And in quite a hurry, it seems. Alice, you must come quickly. Whatever's the matter, Alphino? Don't tell me you couldn't read my handwriting. What? No! A Twin Adder officer accosted me as I was about to set out. Charlian had sent an envoy, who's due to arrive in Gridania at any moment. An envoy? Could it be that Kryl has managed to sway the Forum? We shall know soon enough, but there's more. The envoy has requested that the two of us attend the audience with the Elder Seedseer. Really? I can see why they might want Scions to be present, but us specifically? Wait, it isn't who I think it is. It is. I could scarce believe it myself, but when I inquired as the envoy's identity, I was told it was one Fortuneau Levelure. Your father? Well, now, the fact that a serving member of the Forum had journeyed here would be a surprise enough, but him? Quite. I glean from this that they're taking the matter seriously. That may be, but why him and not one of the other 98 Forum members? Unless he volunteered for it. It's been some time since you last saw your father, has it not? Could it be he's concerned for your well-being? Perhaps, but he's always been reluctant to discuss his work with us. Indeed. And whenever we write our parents, it's invariably our mother who replies. Nonetheless, I would welcome the opportunity to meet with him after so long, even if it is secondary to his true purpose here. Elder Friccio, loath though I am to cut our visit short, we must return to Gridania. Pray accept my apologies, along with my report. Never mind. There'll be time to talk later. This one won't keep walking ones from more urgent matters. Go. The audience will be held at the Lotus Stand, where the Elder Seedseer awaits us even now. Let us be on our way. Nofika's altar. I'm nervous, excited.
We get to see Papa.
Yeah. I hope he's short. Like, that would be the best thing, is if he's also, like, short for an Ellison, and then we can go, oh ha ha. Alphinaud's always going to be short. Let's go in. Oh, this is a walk around in the altar bit. Half the time it's just a cutscene. This would be a great place to meet up for a G-pose if we could. Okay. Graha? During my time in Charlian, I've heard much of Fortunato Livelier. He's a gifted speaker, known among other things for the uncompromising application of foreign policy. Uncompromising, eh? That sounds like someone I know. After all this time away, it'd be good to see my father, even if it's an official meeting. 99 may seem like rather a lot of members, but before the Forum was founded, every person of age in Charlian was given equal say in its governance. Many of the institutions that are still active today were established by the people's vote, not least the Studium. As Alisai and I were constantly reminded during our time there, it's an example of what can be achieved through absolute democracy. My friends, thank you for all for coming so swiftly. Word of Master Fulchino's visit took us quite by surprise. When the Alliance was granted Mistress Kyle's permission to request Charlian aid, we did not anticipate so prompt a reply, much less it would be delivered by a member of the Forum. What the nature of that reply may be, we shall soon discover. Flower. I want those shoes.
Elder Seedseer, I thank you for granting me this audience. I am Fortunato Livelier, here in my capacity as representative of the Forum.
It is I who should thank you, Master Fortunato, for journeying so far and so swiftly. Would that our first meeting could have been under happier circumstances.
It has been too long, Father. You look well.
As do you both. Ameliance will be glad to hear that you are taking care of yourselves.
How is Mother?
She misses you terribly, of course, but is otherwise a picture of health. Circumstances apart, I'm grateful that our meeting has afforded me the chance to be reunited with my children at long last. And I believe I also owe you thanks for the hospitality you showed my father, Louisois, during his sojourn in Eorzea.
All thanks we owe to him. In the days prior to the 7th Umbral Calamity, it was your father's tireless efforts which granted us a means to vanquish the Primals. Were it not for him, our strength would have been quite spent by the time the Empire arrived. That Gridania still stands is in large part his achievement. He was a great man.
He would doubtless have been moved to hear you say so. I must confess, however, that I opposed his decision to intervene. And my position remains unchanged.
Oh?
To chart the course of history, not to change it. I am familiar with the Charlian stance.
It is more than that. It is our way of life, who we are. But I came here not to deliver a lecture, but the Forum's answer to your request. Charlian will under no circumstances intervene in the conflict between Eorzea and the Garlean Empire.
May I ask for what reason the Forum has come to this decision? The final days spell the end not only for Eorzea, but the entire world.
Well, he said with the Garleans. He didn't say with the Telophoroi. All we have to show is that the Telophoroi are independent and transcendent to the Garleans, and then the possibilities open, right?
The final days. Pray spare me your hyperbole. This conflict is no more than the latest in a series of petty squabbles between yourselves and Garlemald. One in which Sharlayan will take no part. If the final days were truly upon us, we would know.
Oh?
Father, you must ask the Forum to reconsider. You may feel safe on your little island across the waves, but if you imagine the Telophoroi will leave you be, you are mistaken. They mean to kill us all, themselves included.
Alphino is right. We have seen what the enemy is capable of, the lengths to which they'll go. This is no time to turn a blind eye. If Eorzea falls, so too will Sharlayan. So if you truly love our homeland, you will join us. Now, before...
I thought you knew better than to raise your voice to your elders. It seems I was wrong. Wrong to ever let you leave, Sharlayan. I consoled myself that your time abroad would instill in you some hint of restraint, of discipline.
I beg your pardon?
But I see now that Eorzea has made fools of you both. Have you forgotten why it was that I so vehemently opposed your grandfather's departure? For all his wisdom, his only solution was to go to war. Death, devastation, ruin. Even those who claim victory are scarred for life. What prize could ever justify such sacrifice? It is the duty of the learned to avert such tragedy. By fanning the flames of war, you forsake all you once held dear.
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it's indolence. I forget who told us that, but someone told us that.
I see your friend shares your misguided ideas.
I was wondering why that sounded
But
familiar.
unlike her, you should know better. By espousing such barbaric notions, you subvert the teachings of Sharlayan and place all we have worked for in jeopardy. Alphino, Alize, as of this moment, you shall no longer bear the name of Leveilleur.
Beg pardon?
What?
Father.
How you choose to live your lives is no longer my concern. If you wish to walk the path of ruin, I will not stand in your way.
Master Fourcheneau, while Sharlayan may have no intention of intervening in this conflict, we can still part as friends.
Oh, it was Louis Slaw's own
And
words.
speak with us, that we might learn of Sharlayan's hopes for the morrow.
I have said what I came here to say. Any further discussion would be meaningless.
It's okay. Alice, Alphino.
Wait!
Alice, Alphino.
Alize.
How can you stand there and watch him walk away? How can you let this happen?
I grant them the name Bar. They're my children now. You are my children now. Okay? Okay, Alfie? You are now Alphino Bar, and there will be no one who will demean you or belittle you. Okay? It's we who walk the path of ruin. Time will tell. That is what bars do. We walk the path of ruin because we cause it. And all quake in terror at our coming. Raha, tell him. Tell him, Raha. In order to avoid conflict with Garlemald, the Forum went so far as to order abandonment of an entire city-state. The refusal date is now, I'm sorry to say, is entirely consistent with their position. Kane-sana, you'll fill out the paperwork, right? It's not very long ago that we had a friend and neighbor in Charlian, and I clung to the hope she might yet lend us her strength. When she forsook Dravania, it seemed she forsook us all. Alice, you're now Alice Bar, okay? So that's what he came here to say? That we're all fools for having the temerity to defend ourselves against the Telepharoi? And as for the rest, like it or not, it's the Forum's decision to watch from afar while Eorzea burns. Father was but a messenger. As he handed down their judgment, I could think of nothing to say that could sway him. I still can't. To have prolonged the discussion would have changed little, for it is not only Master Fourcheneau who must be persuaded, but the Forum as a whole. The decision was made ere your father crossed the sea. Nor is it like to be changed, and so we shall face the Telepharoi without their aid. Forgive me, but if they had no intention of helping us, why would they go to the trouble of sending an envoy in the first place? Why did they not simply keep their counsel as they're wont to do? Gobo, has Master Fourcheneau arrived yet? He just left. It's as I feared. My efforts were in vain. I pleaded our case to as many Forum members as I could, but they flatly refused to discuss the matter. No, that's not exactly true. I should rather say they ignored every word I said on the subject. Without exception, it was almost unnerving. Could it be they were hiding something from us that might go some way to explain Master Fourcheneau's performance? When he said they would know if the final days were truly upon us, I dismissed it as pride. What if they genuinely believe that they know how the world will end, and simply disagree with us about the circumstances? That I don't know, but something tells me they're not as unconcerned about the Telepharoi as they claim. If the threat weren't real, why else would they be so standoffish and secretive? I would very much like to delve deeper into this, but I'm afraid I've exhausted every avenue of inquiry. Nor have I fared any better with my other mission, researching Hydaelyn and the Aetheral Sea. I tried enlisting the help of experts in the field, but it appears the Forum has forbidden anyone from cooperating with us. Obstructed at every turn. So it would seem, but don't lose heart yet. With all the knowledge and acquaintances we have between us, we can still find a way forward. To that end, I'd like you all to join me here, when the time is right, of course. I'm aware that matters in Eorzea stand on a knife edge. With your permission, I can at least start making the necessary arrangements. Oh, I've always wanted to visit Charlian. And so you shall, albeit under less than happy circumstances. It may take a while to secure entry for you all, but I'll let you know when everything's in order. Look after yourselves in the meantime, won't you? Your speculations give me cause to hope. Yet if these seeds will bear fruit, I cannot say. While it's possible the Charlians hide some secret truth from us, there can be no certainty that exposure will prompt them to a change of heart. So for the present, we must needs confront the plight with which we find ourselves. The Forums refused our request for aid, and it falls to us alone to contend with the Telepharoi. Even with all Eorzea standing united, there's no guarantee we'll prevail. What does Charlian intend to do if we fail? I don't know. Maybe they have a big boat and they're just going to sail away. Maybe they have a portal to one of the reflections and they'll just fuck off. But seriously, Alice? Charlian could have done so much good for the cause. They could have helped us uncover the secrets of the towers and save the tempered within, and yet, gods! Throughout my childhood, I remember grandfather arguing with my father over Charlian policy of non-intervention. But this time, it was my turn to play the role. But even if my grandfather could not win him over, what chance had I? If words exist that might sway him, I know not what they are. Well, that's when you do action, my boy. I'll teach you the bar way. I'll teach you the method of beating someone up until they comply. Alright? Kanisera? Death unto Dawn. With a shush emote as a reward. While Charlian's stance is indeed disappointing, we cannot allow ourselves to be distracted from the challenge before us. There's much and more to be done. I shall begin by sharing the Forum's response with my counterparts in the Alliance. Meanwhile, I'd ask that the Scions... Grave tidings, Walking Ones. Grave tidings. Calm yourself, my gentle friend. What's occurred? These ones who went to see Feathered Ones sent terrible news. Destroying Ones have appeared in Zelthathol. Destroying Ones and captured Ones and even frightful godly Ones. Feathered Ones didn't stand a chance and were sent flapping and squawking. When did this happen? Is it too late to help them? Too late, yes, much too late. But luckily, Destroying Ones were only passing through and continued on west. Feathered Ones did not fight and were left unharmed. West. That would be Korthus. My lady, Ishgardians report the Telophoroi have emerged from the eastern highlands of Korthus and are marching at speed. Though their purpose has yet to be determined, the Cartano Flats would seem their most likely destination. Lord Emmerich has already dispatched his forces and requests our immediate support. Tell him he shall have it. Time has come for the Grand Company of Eorzea to prove its worth. Well, mayhap it's a mercy we do not have time to stew on our misfortune. Come, let's make haste to Cartano. Wait, this one almost forgot. Destroying Ones were said to be led by Cackling Robed One. This one must see that all the Walking Ones know. Farewell. Fandaniel. Who else? It's only a matter of time before that grinning maniac showed himself again. I shall have an airship ready to bear you to Cartano. Pray see your preparations. Report to the landing at all haste. At once, my lady. Let us away. To the... Where's the exit? There it is. That's a rock.
A rock?
I got stuck on a rock and was wondering why I wasn't moving. I feel like I run faster when I have my weapon out. Fordola, it's you. Come on, this will only take a moment, alright? Gobo, it seems Fordola's come all the way in Gridania to find us. I've explained the situation, but she insists her business is urgent. Aye, and it'll be over sooner if you shut up and come with me. Alright. Let's go do that. Fordola is so great. Arenvald, you're alive! Yay!
Arenvald! I can't tell you how good it is to see you.
It arrived a lot sooner than expected, eh? The day I craned my neck up at you.
Only because you're sitting down.
Easy, no wheelchair.
Unless
Afraid so. The chirurgeons say I may never walk again. Come on, Alfino, it could be worse. Besides, I didn't come here to dampen the mood. Quite the opposite.
Oh.
All I've ever wanted was to fight for a cause I believe in. But my fighting days are over. So I want you to fight in my stead. Be the hero I can't.
I am no hero.
That's what they all say, though. No one ever calls themselves a hero. Even the ones who eat primals for breakfast. It's for others to decide.
I call myself hero all the time. It gets me, like, free meals and such.
Look, Alfino. You already are a hero. To me and countless others. We see you doing your damnedest to protect us all. And you're not alone, are you? There are people who believe in you, just as you believe in them.
We'll be sure to give your regards to the Telophoroi.
I know what's at stake, and how many people are depending on you. But I believe in you. Believe that you'll see it through. That's why I'm entrusting my dreams to you. Like Albert and Owley once entrusted their dreams to me.
There was a time when I would have borne the weight of such expectations without a second thought. But now, I know just how heavy that burden can be. To tell the truth, I'm beginning to wonder if I chose the right path. Sacrifices will inevitably be made for the sake of the ideals I uphold. Maybe I am not the person I thought I was. The person you think I am.
I wouldn't presume to tell you. But I will say this. In spite of everything, you've come this far. The road ahead might not always be clear, but you've never been one to give up or take the easy way out. And everything you do for others. For a brighter future. I'm proud to call you my friend.
Oh no, Alphino is getting friend-zoned. Rip.
Well, I've said my piece, so I'll let you go. I know you've got more important things to be doing. Just give what I've said some thought, alright?
Mm-hmm.
I shall, my friend. And we will meet again soon, I promise.
You know, we could just roll him in to the Rising Stones and Tataru could put him to work. He doesn't have to stop heroing.
Nothing left for me to do but wave and smile.
Oh yeah, definitely after saying that. We need to take you to Mordona, introduce you to Tataru. Tataru will find a way for you to help the cause.
You've got a pretty narrow view of what it means to be a hero. Do you know that? You think they're all forged in the fires of battle? That it's all about being brave and killing villains? Alphino and the others will carry on their fight. But theirs isn't the only one. There are other ways you can make a difference. If you stop feeling sorry for yourself and put your bloody mind to it.
not much chance of me living the quiet life with you around, is there?
Arnval, did you dump Alphino for Fordola? Oh my god. I mean, I can't
You're
blame
content
him.
to twiddle your thumbs thinking of what might have been. That's your lookout.
I mean, I can't either.
You've got some fight left in you.
And I reckon you might be right. If there's a way I can still help my friends, I'll bloody well find it.
Still, that makes Fordola straight, and that is so sad. Well, I guess.
Oh.
I'll see y'all after Cartano. You can tell me later what that was all about, but judging by the set of Alphino's jaw, it appears to have done him some good. Thancred and the others have already left the Rising Stones, and according to the communications officer, Amalja and Kobold forces are also bound for Cartano as we speak. They mean to keep the promise they made in Alamigo, and we must do the same, by saving as many of their tempered kin as possible. Anyway, the airship is ready to depart. We should get going. Upon joining the battle at Cartano, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Your progress through the battle will be saved at certain points. You know what? I'm going to toggle the stream so that it doesn't crash mid all these cutscenes. Even though because we're just about to have the ad too.